appreciate your partnership, and it's very difficult to deliver without the support of our local delegation, with you being at the head of that. So thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And most of the time when we chat, it's about what we can do for this county, economic development. And thank you for your partnership. I always depend on the board to give me directions on what's good for Escambia County. Today I'm here really as an effort to help me understand our role and what we should be doing during this pandemic. We have opened back the economy, which is good. We had to. And now we have a dilemma in that in opening it's created more virus. The good news is that today there'll be probably an additional 10,000 added to that list, which represents probably another 100,000 that have the virus. We know that over 300,000 people in Florida have had the virus. The great news is that 97% plus of those folks will recover. The 3% that will not recover are people that, in most cases, have underlying health conditions. These are not just people that are old and are in nursing homes. These are people like you and I that have a health problem, and at the worst time in their life, they're subject to a virus that could kill them. So what are we doing? I think nationally, we've heard some good news this week about coming up with a remedy, a vaccine, but it's going to take time. We know that we're in a much different places in our 3 major hospitals here in Escambia County than we were back in April and May when we had people come in, and really there was more fear in the system, not only from the people providing the services, but for the people coming in, of what were we really looking at. We are in a better place today in Escambia County than we were 3 months ago. And why is that? Because we've come up with treatments that are working for the people that are most severely at risk. One of those treatments is convalescent plasma. We are in a desperate need. In the last 3 weeks, according to OneBlood, their need for convalescent plasma has gone up by 800%. So what that means is, if you were to contract this virus and you were one of the unlucky people that it had a major impact on, and you went to the hospital, they would have to make a decision on whether to use that convalescent plasma for you or someone else, because it's simply not available. So what can we do as leaders? The public has given you the microphone, not only to speak today, but to speak many, many times during your service. Facebook, your webpage. I'm asking you to join with me in signing a pledge, which I've signed, and it simply says, I will give blood during this pandemic every 60 days. Why every 60 days? Because you can't give but every 56 days. So that gives you 4 days to think about it. I have signed the pledge. I've given my blood yesterday. I want you to make that pledge, and I'm going to every county I represent and asking every elected official to put it on their webpage, to put it on their Facebook, to encourage all their constituents that we are in a war and we need volunteers. We primarily need volunteers who've had the virus, and we're making an effort through the hospitals and through the blood banks to reach out to these folks and not offend their HIPAA rights. But we've got to have them. The magnificent part of this virus is once you get it and you recover, you have an antibody. And that antibody is worth a life. We need to encourage people to do what they have to do and come forward and give their blood. In the meantime, because of universities and schools are out, which is the major supply of the voluntary programs now, we're in a massive shortage of blood in general. So I have these forms here. I'm going to leave you 100. I'd like you to put it on the county website. I'd like to see every employee may be given that opportunity, the ones that are healthy enough to do it. And let's enter into the trenches to fight the battle the way we can. Let's show the example as elected officials that we're willing to give our literal blood to help save our constituency. And we're in the process of working out an agreement. If this program goes well, which I think it will, what happens to that blood? Will it stay in Escambia County? We're going to make sure that when we give our proportionate share over what we normally give, that it will stay and help our citizens. So will you help me to help the people that we represent, to use what the people have given you as the authority, as the voice piece, to say we're going to do our part, we're going to show you the example. And we're going to go to every Rotary Club, every major employer, and give them the same message, that we're in a war. We think that in a year we'll be in a much different position, but we're in a desperate position now. And what does this really mean? It means that we're allowing all those people that are healthy to go back to work. As they go back to work, we're going to see more virus. If we do our part, though, we can take care of the people that want to work and the people that are sheltered and cannot work and are in fear of their life. So we solve both problems. We take care of the people that are working, keep our economy strong, and we allow those folks that cannot do anything other than protect themselves to have a backup if they get this virus and it becomes life-threatening. My goal is that we reduce the 3% mortality in Florida down to 1 or 2%, and we can do it if we all join this war. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely. Wonderful message, Senator. Thank you for being here. I don't know if any of my colleagues have any comments, but Commissioner May?
No, Senator, I want to thank you and Kevin. I see Kevin in the back. And
Absolutely.
to have a great delegation and have a friend across the aisle that supports us is very important to local government. And I join you in supporting you in any efforts that you're doing.